is Etty and I'm the owner of Plonk Wine Merchants. So today we're going to continue talking about Vino Vocab, but we're going to focus on very hard to pronounce French wine terms. Now the first term I want to start with is the word sommelier. Now most people have heard of the word sommelier. A sommelier is the wine director on staff at a restaurant whose task is to really put together a great wine program based on the cuisine of the restaurant and to find very interesting selections to put together for the wine list. Now, while most people know what a sommelier is, most people don't actually utilize the sommelier at a restaurant. So the sommelier puts the wine list together, but you should also utilize him to help you through the selection. So when you open a wine list, scan through, ask questions, ask for recommendations. The sommelier can really help make your wine experience that much better. And because the sommelier, he or she is familiar with the food at the restaurant, they can really help guide you to great food and wine pairings. The next French wine term I want to talk about is the word terroir. Now, terroir is this very esoteric wine term that refers to the sense of place that really helps a wine be unique, be something different than a wine that comes from a different place. So people use the word terroir to really describe the climatic conditions where a wine grows. So the soil types, the sunlight, whether it's near a mountain or near an ocean, all of these different climatic differences that really influence what ends up expressing itself in the bottle. The third wine term I want to talk about today that we're talking about French wine terms that are hard to pronounce is the word cépage. Now, cépage is simply a word that refers to the type of grape varieties that are used in a wine. Now, the cépage can refer to a blend. So say a wine from Bordeaux usually is a blend of grapes, Cabernet Merlot, Cabernet Franc, Petit Verdot. All these grapes are blended together into one wine in Bordeaux. You don't typically see monovarietal or wines made from one particular grape in Bordeaux. But in other regions like Burgundy in France, the cépage will only include one grape. Pinot Noir if it's red, Chardonnay if it's white. So cépage typically refers to the types of grape varieties that are used in a wine. The next wine term I want to describe is the word barrique. Now, barrique is simply the French term for an oak barrel that they use to age the wine in. Usually barriques are about 200 liters. Barriques can vary in size, but it's just a fancy French way of describing the barrel where they age the wine. And then finally, the last French wine term I wanted to discuss today is the word saignée. Now, saignée is a method by which you make rosé. So some people think that rosés are made by blending white and red wines together to get a pink wine, a cranberry colored wine. Not true. If a wine is made that way, you probably don't want to be drinking it. Good rosés are made in a variety of ways, and one of them is called saignée. Now, saignée in French means to bleed off. So what happens is you take red grapes, you crush them, and you let the juice macerate or marinate with the skins where all the color is trapped until the color leaches out into the juice. Now, once the wine is sort of at a copper, at a salmon, a cranberry, or a pink phase, depending on what grape variety it is and how the winemaker wants the wine to come out, what they'll do is they'll open the tank and they'll let the wine bleed off, hence the word saignée in French. And that wine will be reserved for a rosé. The rest of the red wine will be left to macerate with the skins until it gets a darker red color, and that wine will actually be used to produce a standard red wine. So hopefully this has given you some good tips to figure out how to pronounce French wine terms and how to figure out what they all mean.